Welcome to the Accountability Thing. My name is Briar Milas. This is Carla Justice, and we're here today with amazing author Starr Pilmore. She has done many things. She's a trainer, she's a teacher, she has written a book called Fun with Visualization, which is amazing, and she has an upcoming book coming up called From Cancer to Conquer. So, Starr, do you want to give us a little bit of information about your new book?
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me on the show. My new book is called From Cancer to Conquer and the Lessons Learned Along the Way, and it talks specifically about my cancer journey and the lessons I learned from going from having a choice in life to empowering myself and changing career fields totally and becoming a visualization expert.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So, Starr, does accountability play a role, once you've made a choice to follow through?
Absolutely. Accountability is probably one of the most important things for goal setting, visualization, and everything in life. Without accountability, we kind of lose our path along the way. So accountability plays a huge role because we hold ourselves to our standards. And having somebody holding us accountable is an amazing tool.
Awesome, awesome. Now, we know that you've worked with a lot of visualization. You've come up with a great program. Can you tell us a little bit about your visualization and everything?
Absolutely. First of all, I just want to explain visualization a little bit because people have such a hard time understanding visualization. And people always ask me, what is visualization? Usually followed up by a question of, oh, I can't do that. That's too difficult. And I just want to have just a simple little story and explain visualization. So imagine you're at work and you're thinking about your vacation coming up. So what's the first thing you do when you think about your vacation? You don't just throw a dart at the map and decide that's where I'm going to go. And sadly, most people in life throw a big dart at the map of life and decide that's their destination. So what we really do is we sit and think about where we want to go, what makes us happy and what makes us, come alive. Let's say for you, you're in this cold area right now and your destination is Hawaii. So what's the first thing you do? You start researching it, you start thinking about it, you're at work in the drudgery, and all of a sudden you're sitting back in your chair and you're daydreaming about it. You're daydreaming about dipping your toes in the sand, having your pina colada or your fruity drink on the beach with the warm, sun coming in. Mm-hmm. And that right there is what visualization is. You are daydreaming or seeing the pictures in your mind about where you want to be.
That's cool.
That's interesting.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, what are the changes that you see in a person when really what you're talking about is taking accountability, right, for the life that they want? What kind of changes do you see when somebody starts taking accountability in their lives?
What I definitely see, the first changes I see is people really start believing that they can do it. And that's where accountability comes into play. Because you have to commit to this for at least 30 days. And when people start being accountable, they start seeing the changes. They start believing that they're true, and they start moving towards their goal. And visualization is one of the most powerful tools to move you towards your goals.
Yeah. Why 30 days? Why isn't it 2 weeks or why isn't it 2 months? Why the 30 days?
That's an interesting question. There's actually been studies out, and it's actually 27 days that they see a difference. Between 25 and 27 days, they see a difference. There was a NASA experiment. They put glasses on the astronauts to kind of have their life turned upside down, and kind of what it does is it teaches them to be in space before they go in space. What they found out, so
That's really
so
cool.
imagine you have glasses on, and what you're seeing is up here, but actually everything is down here. So everything's flipped upside down.
Wow.
So what happened in this experiment, they found out that about the 25th or 27th day, that what they were seeing up here actually became reality and came down back to where it was at. If they took the glasses off at any time during that 27 days, it did not flip their perception.
Wow.
So there was something about that 25th, 27th day where the mind actually will adjust to the reality of what it is. So that's why they say a habit, they give 30 days to change your habit. You have to have 30 consecutive days to change your habit, because it happens around the 25th to 27th day. They just say 30 days to make sure that you cement the habit in. And that's why they say if you stop, you start all over again.
Wow.
Interesting.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Starr. That's really awesome. You know, one question that I'm wondering about is, what's the biggest challenge that people have? I mean, you said your program is the 30 days, and there's something happening every day along the way. But what's the biggest challenge that people have?
Well, as you know, as Americans, as human beings, we are spent. We are taxed. Our time is spent every minute of our day. And so the commitment there is the hardest thing, of having somebody show up every day for 30 days, and having a coach like myself or like you guys with your accountability really raises the bar and has people show up. The commitment is the hardest thing. And when you've got those accountability people and those coaches, it changes the game. It allows people to be present and show up.
Interesting. That's great, Starr. Question is, I'm sure that you have dealt with with lots of people that haven't taken 100% responsibility for their life. How has that affected your program?
Well, first of all, if somebody does not commit to 100% responsibility and showing up, I will not take them on. I have an hour interview with them in the beginning, and that's the one thing I stress the most, is that they need to show up every day. This is a big investment for them, and it's a big commitment. So if they're not willing to commit at this point in time in their life, then I give them some homework to do to be able to commit to those 30 days. But it is of utmost important that they are committed to 30 days.
Awesome. So I'm dying to hear about some of your success stories. Can you share anything with me about that?
Absolutely. I will share a personal success story, and then I'll share one or two of my clients' success stories. So when I was developing this program, Fun with Visualization, it was of a personal status to me. I made this program up after seeing Jack Canfield and wanting to kind of change my passions and purpose, and goal setting was new to me. And I was finding I was spending a lot of time with goal setting and visualization, and I didn't quite understand visualization. And so I started researching it a lot. And what I came up with was different modalities, and then sprinkled some of mine in there. And I came up with the emotions for the visualization, and very quick and concise times, because as you know, we're a very busy society. So I knew I wanted it short and concise to be able to commit to it. And so I started working with this program, and I'm a nurse, and I wanted to get out of emergency nursing that I was already out of due to a life-threatening illness. I had quit that job, but I wanted to go back and teach. Well, I wanted to teach at a university, the University of Arizona, and I'm going to have to say, go Wildcats. But I didn't know anything about it. You know, being a nurse yourself, how extremely difficult it is to get a job being an instructor. So I started visualizing me being an instructor at the University of Arizona. And then I put it out to my friends that this is what I wanted to do. And the next thing I know, about a week and a half later, I get a call from the dean of nursing, and she's like, this might be funny, but I understand you're looking for a job instructing, and I happen to have an available position. Would you like to come in for an interview?
That's
Wow.
awesome.
And I did, and I taught at the
So
University
cool.
of Arizona the next semester.
That is so amazing, Starr. That is unbelievable. Oh my goodness. So yes, I'm also, I've also been a nurse, have you used any of this with your patients at all?
I have not used it specifically with my patients. I have used some visualization for pain management with my patients. I do this more on outside and do it with coaching clients. And I'll tell you another story. I have a author who came to me, and his big thing was he wanted to sell 100,000 copies of his books.
Oh, wow.
And that's what we started out as. And as we went through the program, he's like, if I just could get one television interview, I know I could sell 100,000 copies of those books.
Wow.
And that's what we started concentrating on more and more and more. By the end of our 30 days, he did have that television interview. And what was amazing about that television interview is that television interview went viral, it went international, and now he is able to sell his books, and he's coming to that 100,000 mark.
Starr, that's impressive. Thanks for sharing those success stories. That's really cool. We've heard great things about your program. And we're nearing the end of this show, and I was just wondering if you could share with us 3 points that our viewers could use to help them with visualization and improving their lives.
Absolutely. First of all, I'm going to talk about the most interesting thing is to write a 5-year plan. So what you want to do is write like you are 5 years out and everything you ever wanted has come true.
That's awesome.
That is like what we were talking about earlier with the holiday, your vacation. That is your vacation. Plan it out. Make it the most wonderful life you could ever imagine. And then start visualizing it.
Okay.
Visualize it as if it were complete. And then the third thing is commit to 30 days. Absolutely commit. Have fun with it. Get your friend involved with it. Talk to them about it. Tell them your dreams, your aspirations, and just have fun, but do it for 30 days.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all these wonderful ideas with us, Starr. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us on the accountability thing.
Yeah, it's been great.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. And you guys are having such great success with accountability. And I'm so happy you guys are out there spreading the word about accountability, because accountability is so important to have your goals come true.
Thank you, Starr. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us today on today's episode of The Accountability Thing. I'm Carla Justice.
And I'm Briar Mealis. We're very happy to have you with us.